Hi, Scorpio. It's Jeffrey. It's right color, and it's time for the May reading. Very exciting. And May is like a half birthday for Scorpios. And now you know that I'm 29 and a half. Oh, you see? The bird is outside. One of the birds is outside. And he wasn't really, he was just eating. He wasn't really chirping away, but maybe it's starting to chirp away. Okay. So maybe part of the message is allow your voice to be heard. Maybe that's part of the message. We'll see. Oh, yes, it is. Did you hear that little tweety tweet? Oh, oh. So sing your song or the message. Okay, let's see what's up for May for Scorpio. Now that you're 25 and a half, 29 and a half, 18 and a half, however old you are, oh, see? Five, Empress, Judgment. A change in the way of thinking. A change. This is a weird card. Fives are always about change. I love the clouds in this. Love the clouds. So, this is like dark clouds moving, because everything was always changing, right? You look at the sky. I took a picture in Mexico, and the light was so magnificent. It was like this rainstorm had come through, this really mini, tiny little rainstorm. So the drama of the light coming through at certain points and not. And I took the picture, and then you look at the picture, it's like, well, nothing really happened. Um, but this is like a change. I think this is like a change in who's in charge, right? So this is like an exchange of words sometimes, not a pleasant one, but it's kind of like they helped him win the battle, right? But now they're done. They're done because of him, because of his way. So this could also be like a change in one's mind about the voices you're listening to. Let's hope so. I work on that really hard every day. I work on that really, really hard. So it's like a change in the way of thinking. And maybe the change in the way of thinking has to do with creativity, abundance, fertility, nurturing, pregnancy, artistry, because that's what she's about, Mother Earth. And she's very loving, very full, very rich, very. This is like the fountain that flows and flows and flows and flows and flows. And it's interesting because that's how sometimes I try to do a metaphor of how to get rid of negative thinking. So, I'm a dyer. So I usually I use dye in there are two ways I use dye. I make dye into gel with like seaweed, and it becomes sort of like paint, and I'm able to paint with it. And then the other way I make it, so that's how I do something like this. So that's how I get all this texture. And then the other way I do it is I make it into liquid. So I just add the dye, like it's dry, to water and some other chemicals, some urea and some other chemicals, and it just becomes like liquid, like soda in a way. Like it's blue or it's red or whatever it is. And then I work with the liquid dye. So when I work with the liquid dye, I make it into these containers, and there's always a little left over, right? So the way I get rid of it is I just add water, and I just keep on adding water, and eventually, like the little blue that's left on the bottom just turns clear, and it's clear, and then I can use that container, and I can put yellow in it, or I can put whatever I want. Sometimes it's very hard to get out, and But if I just keep on adding water, eventually it'll be clear enough. I mean, it might not be 100%, 1,000% clear. There might be a little bit, tiny bit blue left, but I don't see it. You probably don't see it. And then I can make that container yellow if I need yellow or whatever else I need. And that's the way to go about it. It's not about fighting. It's not about fighting. It's about walking away from the battle, right? Walking away from that battle in your head saying, oh, I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. Don't fight that thought. Just introduce something new. You just introduce clear water, something new, and eventually it all just it dissipates. It's so hard not to curse, you have no idea. So hard. And that's what the abundance is about. And then, you get judgment. Judgment's a great part because judgment's about the end of a cycle. Judgment's about a new awareness. Judgment is about a new awareness, being reborn, which we love. So in order to be reborn, just introduce clear water into the old way so that you can become more abundant, more creative, more fulfilled, more pregnant. Give birth to something new, right? Give birth to something new. New daddy. Let's go get a new daddy. Virgin looking for a new daddy. To be reborn, to have a new awareness, to have a new understanding, to complete something. So it's your karma. It's your karma. Don't fight. Walk away. Because, the other thing is, with this card, I'm a Scorpio. I've got that tongue. I do. And the older I get, it's like, first of all, I have to decide on the battles that are important to win. Because otherwise, it's like, I'm just wasting my time, Oh, so I had the last word, but what did I accomplish? I could just walk away. It's easier. There are certain battles that are worth fighting and that it's really worth to be heard. Not that many. Not really. Not really. It's like, okay, we did what we did. Now it's time for me to go back to my farm and take care of my farm. I don't really have to get into a battle of words. The thing is about a battle of words, once you say something, you can't unsay it. Once you say something, that's like being a sneaky Scorpio, not an eagle Scorpio, not a Phoenix Scorpio. Now that I'm 29 and a half, it's like, I don't really need to be bothered with this. I want to live in the garden. I want to be abundant. I want to be creative. I want to be nurturing. I want to be pregnant. I want to, flow. I'm not interested in having something stop the flow. I'm just not interested. I have a new awareness of what's important, of how to be reborn. And it doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. And it has to do with my thoughts and myself. And if I fight the thoughts, they're just going to get stronger, and then I'm going to be in battle forever. I don't really want to be in battle forever. I have things to do. So, it's important not to get into it. There's no point. There's no point. Just walk away. Go to the garden, be fertile, plant the stuff, let it grow, harvest it. That's what it's about. Not about fighting these demons in my head. It's about introducing a new thought, letting the water take over, let it become clear, and then I can make whatever color I need to make it. It's not about, oh, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it. Sometimes people give me things because they know I'm a dyer. So it's like, if you give me something white, yeah, I could dye it. But sometimes, they bring me something, it's like, like a tan, like somebody once brought me, like a pair of khakis. It was sort of like, this is not Maya. Faux Maya. It's sort of like this color. It's like, well, can you make that blue? It's like, no. It's got a base of like yellow, basically. So it's going to be green, but it'll never be blue. I can't, when things are dyed on the factory level, to get them to like become white again and then re-dye it again, it's like it's hard. It's like super hard. I mean, it can be done, but I don't. I'm a craft dyer. I'm not a dye factory. But do I need to get into it with them? It's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's it. I don't have to get into a tug of war. It's a waste of time. I need to get back to the garden. We all need to get back to the garden. So it's time for a change of thought. And this is where we need to be, living in the garden, in this new awareness, as opposed to the past of, I'm going to one-up you. Nowhere. Nowhere. Do it by living, not by words. I know you got me. Blessings. It's going to be a good month.